Okay, today we're going to do the Chapter 4, Guided Program Development, which starts on page 254 in your book. So begin by making a new project. Okay, for this project, we're going to make a Windows Forms application, same as usual. We're going to rename this Digital Download. Click OK. Alright, make sure that your toolbox is displayed. If it's not displayed, you can display it by clicking on this button up here on the top. Okay, we're going to start by renaming our form. So right click, choose rename, keep your VB. Okay, we're going to rename this form Digital Downloads. Click enter. Okay, we're going to change the title in the title bar. So click on your form, go down to the text property, and we're going to change the title of this to Download Music. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to resize this form. So we're going to go to the size. And for the size, you can use the sizing handles, excuse me, on the size here, or you can just resize it. It's going to be about 397 by 338 is the size that we want. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to add a picture box object. So we're going to choose picture box, and we're going to anchor it right up here in the top right-hand corner. Okay, we want to rename that picture box. So we're going to go up to the name property. Okay, we're going to delete the name, and we're going to call this pic. Oh, sorry, I lost it. We're going to call this pic download heading. Okay, then we're going to resize the picture box. So we're going to go down to size. And we're going to size it to about 81 by 110. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a heading label. So you want to add a label. We're going to put it right about in the center of the form or so. And you want to make sure that it aligns. So use those snap lines. Okay, you want to use that blue snap line. Okay, you want to align it to the top of your form. Okay, and we're going to rename this Label Digital Downloads. So we're going to go to this name property. I'm going to call it Label Digital Downloads. Okay, then we're going to change the text property. Oops, a little bit farther. Okay, and we want the text property to say digital downloads. Okay, and then we're going to change the font. Okay, we want it to be Cooper Black 18. Cooper Black 18. Okay, and you're going to have to move it a little bit because we want it to be off to the left of this picture right here. Okay, and then we want to horizontally center both of these. So we're going to click on this, hold our Shift key down. We're going to go to our Format, Center in Form, and we're going to center it horizontally in the form. So both of these are centered horizontally in our form. Okay, then we want to add another label. Okay, we want to put it like right about kind of under the A or so. we're going to call this label cost heading. Okay, and then we're going to change the text property to $x.xx. Okay, and then we're going to change the font. And we want the font to be Century Gothic. Century Gothic, regular 12. Okay, and then we want to center align this with this. Okay, so we're going to go Format, Align, Centers. Okay, and that just messed that all up, so we're just going to move that back like that. Okay, and you can do that this way too. If you look at these, okay, you can see this is Align Center, so you can use your formatting toolbar as well to do the same thing. Okay? Oops, I'm sorry, this should have said XXX. I didn't finish this, sorry, this was XXX. Sorry. XXX text per download. Sorry, that was my bad. Then you want to center these two. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Now we want to add a label for the number of song downloads. So we're going to add a label. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to line it up with the left side of the digital downloads and a little bit below actually that the picture. Okay, so align it to the left of the digital downloads, use that snap line, and then a little bit below your picture. Okay, we want to change the name of this one, and we're going to call this label number of downloads. Label number of downloads. Okay, and we want to change the text to number of song downloads. And we want to change the font to Century Gothic, regular 12. Okay, then we want to add a text box object. Okay, we want to align that with the left of our picture object up above. We're going to call this text number of downloads. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to actually put a text in this, and our text is going to be XXX. Okay, then we're going to change our font size in this. So we're going to go to our font. We're going to make this Century Gothic, regular 12. Okay, then we're going to resize this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to align the text. Okay, so that the text is equal with the number of the song downloads. Okay, and then we're going to center align the text. So we're going to go to Text Align, QRST, Text Align, and we want to Text Align Center. Okay, and then once you've got everything all set up so that it looks right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove that text. See, the only reason we put that text in there was just so that we could see what it would look like, so that we got it so that it looked correct. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add another label. Okay, and we want to add that label. We want to snap line that label, and we want to add another label. And we're going to snap align that label. We want it to line up. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then on the left label, we're going to click the left label. And we're going to name that left label. Oops. Okay, we're going to add the left label. Label total cost label. Label total cost label. And then the one on the right we're going to call label total cost of downloads. Okay, and then for the text of the one on the left, we're going to call this one, we're going to go down to the text property, and we're going to change the text to say total cost of downloads. And then the text for the one on the right, we're going to change it to 888.88. And then we're going to hold our shift key down to select both of them. And we're going to change the font to, you probably already guessed this. We're going to change the font to Century Gothic Regular 12. Okay. Now everything should be all aligned correctly. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 3 buttons down along the bottom. And you don't really have to worry about snap aligning these, because we're going to align these a little bit different. We're going to align these to each other. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to name the first button. Okay, we're going to align these 3 to themselves, so don't worry about doing these 3. Don't worry about how you align these just yet. Okay, so the first button is going to be, let's see, button calculate cost. It's really important that you name these right, because it's going to help with the coding. Calculate cost. Okay, the second one is going to be button clear. And then the third one is going to be button exit. And then we're going to change the text properties on these. To calculate cost. Clear. And exit. Okay, then you notice this one doesn't quite show all of the text, but we want to keep all of the buttons the same size. So I'm going to click on this one, I'm going to hold down my shift key, and I'm going to click on all 3 of them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this one. And notice as I'm resizing this one, the other 2 are resizing as well. So what I've done is I've resized all 3 of them at the same time so that they're all the same size as I resize them. Now I'm going to hold down my shift key, and I'm going to select all 3, and I'm going to go, let me see, which button is it? I always forget which button it is. You can use this one too, make same size. Okay, that'll do it. This one increases horizontal spacing, this one decreases horizontal spacing, this one removes horizontal spacing. This one is the one we want. This one makes the horizontal spacing equal. So what that's going to do is that's going to make the space between these exactly the same. That's the one I want. Then what I'm going to do is go to the format. I'm going to center in form, and I'm going to center them horizontally. Okay, so now what I have is in the form, I have the equal space between these 3 buttons, and I have it centered horizontally in the form. Okay, so what I've done is I've made it look nice in the form. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to add a back color to my form. So I'm going to click on my form. Okay, make sure the form digital downloads is selected. I'm going to choose a back color. Okay, so go to back color. I'm going to choose web. And for the back color, I want dark sea green. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down to the greens. And I'm going to choose dark sea green. Okay, then for the button objects, I'm going to click the first button, hold my shift key, and then I'm going to choose my back color for the buttons. And for the buttons, I want white. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my accept button. Okay, so I'm going to go down, I'm going to select my form again, and I'm going to go to my accept button. And for my accept button, I'm going to choose calculate cost. Okay, and then I'm going to set my cancel button, and for my cancel button, I'm going to choose clear. Okay, and then I'm going to insert my music image into the pick download heading. So you should have downloaded this from the classroom. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get that, and I'm going to go to the image. Select your picture box first. I'm going to go to my image. I'm going to go to local resource. I'm going to import, and it's in my chapter 4 file. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my size mode, and I'm going to stretch image so that it fits in the box. Okay, and once you're done there, then the user interface is finished. Okay, and this is what it should look like. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to code our form. Okay, so we're going to start by double clicking on the calculate cost button. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting in our general comments. Okay, and of course here you want to put your own name. Okay, and then you're going to put today's date. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is we need to start coding our program. Okay, first we want to do our constants. Okay, constants, if you want them to be available to the whole program, you're going to program them within the class. Okay, not in the subroutine. If you program them within the class, they're available to all the subroutines. So that's what we want to do. Is we want to. This is going to be a global constant. Okay, so you can see here it says it's used in multiple procedures. Okay, so we're going to start this with an underscore. That just indicates that it's a constant as opposed to a variable. Something that's going to be the same throughout the whole program. Okay, it's not going to change ever. Okay, so that means it's going to be the same all the time. Okay? Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to program our calculate cost button. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to declare our variables. Okay, now notice that we have two number of songs. Okay, we can do this. We have number of songs and number of songs, but these are not the same because we have int in front of one and string in front of the other. This one is a string, this one is an integer. They're different, but we name them the same because this is the string. Okay, this one's pulled off this form as a string, and then it's converted into a variable. So it's okay to do that. Okay, it's always good, remember, to use this to make sure that you've got, notice how I backed up to make sure that I had this in here. It's always good to use that, the IntelliSense, to make sure that you're using something that really exists, because otherwise you're going to get an error. So it's a good habit to get into, because if you don't, you're going to end up pulling an error, and if you do that, then you're going to run into problems. Okay, see now here I know that we've got everything. Now here what we're doing is we're taking that string number of songs. This is it. This is where we pulled it from the text box, and this is where we converted it into an integer so that we can do calculations with it. Okay, and then here's that. Oops, I spelled it down lad, didn't I? And here I'm just going to change this down, load, down, load. Okay, fix that real quick. Okay, so here's where we're calculating that cost. Okay, and here what we're doing, we're taking that total cost of downloads and we're inputting it into that total cost of downloads label. We're inputting that text into that total cost of downloads label. And then we can just run that application and see if it works. Make sure we don't have any errors in it. So it's asking us how many song downloads. We'll say 1, and then we're going to press this calculate cost, and it tells us it's going to be 99 cents. And then, of course, these buttons aren't going to work yet because we haven't programmed them. Okay, so that seems to work. So that's fine. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to write the clear button. Okay, so we're going to double click on clear. and we have to write what it does. Okay, so first we're clearing the number of downloads text. Okay, then we're clearing the total cost of downloads. Okay, then we're resetting the focus. Okay, exactly what it says we're supposed to do. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to set the form load. Here's the, I thought we had a form load event. Okay, so then we have to do a form load event. So we're going to double click on the form. Okay, so now we have form digital downloads. So we're going to write the form event. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the label cost heading. And you remember that's that one right up front, up top where it says x.xx. And we don't want it to say that. We want it to say what the price of downloads is. Now the reason that we're doing it here rather than on the form is if the downloads, let's say, you know, different songs cost different amounts. Let's say you add a membership or something. Where people can download songs. They get, maybe if you buy a membership, it's 49 cents per song. You can add those in there so that it changes depending on the user, or maybe certain artists is $1.99 per song. I know that when I download Hannah Montana songs for my daughter, usually they're $1.49 per song instead of 99 cents per song. So this way you can change it rather than having it on the form itself. You can do it within the code so that it can be different per artist or per user depending on what it is. So that's why we're doing it in the form instead of or in the code rather than in the form. So if you were wondering why we're doing it in the code, that's why. Okay, so there's your form load. And then, of course, we have to do our exit button. And the exit button is always the easiest. So some people like to do the exit button first because it's the easiest. Some people do the exit button last because it's the easiest. It's just all a matter of preference. And then this one's easy because it's just the close. Okay, and then we're going to run the form and see what happens. And we put our number of song downloads, and we're going to calculate our cost. And we see it's $1.98. Okay, and we see I don't have a space here, so I would want to go back and fix that. We can clear this, and we can try 6 downloads and see what happens. Calculate cost, clear, try it with 100, calculate cost, clear, and exit. Make sure it works right. Okay, we want to go down here, and it's XXX per download. It's going to be in the code. Let's see. I put a space right here. There we go. And run it again and make sure it looks okay. On form load, see now there's a space. Okay, that's where our problem was. So try 12, calculate cost, clear. If I put a B in here, it's going to throw an error. Okay, it just does nothing. Oh, no, there it is. There's an error. It says, well, can't do that. We'll learn how to do that in another class. Okay, so once you've got that done, go ahead and save it. Okay, stop executing. Stop. Okay, and we're going to save all. And go ahead and turn that in.